Good morning, all of you. Students, we are doing the chapter Motion and Time. In this chapter, we discussed about rest and motion, different type of motion, speed, its calculation, and then uniform and non-uniform motion. Students, today I am going to start the next physical quantity, that is time. Time and change are often linked together. Some natural events, like the solar or lunar eclipse, happen once in a while. Other natural events repeat themselves over a regular interval of time. We refer to such regular repeating events as periodic events. That means the events which repeat themselves over a regular interval of time, they are known as periodic events. In ancient times, people used such natural events repeating themselves at regular intervals of time. For example, sunrise and sunset, seasons in a year, changes in the appearance of moon, etc., to count and define the intervals of time. The time interval between one sunrise and the next was called a day. Similarly, a month was measured from one new moon to the next. Year was fixed as the time taken by the earth to complete one revolution of the sun. Now, measurement of time. The early scientists developed many devices to measure time intervals that are much smaller than a day. Devices like the sundial, the hourglass, and water clock were used to measure time. Nowadays, we depend on clocks and watches to measure intervals of time in seconds, minutes, and hours. Clocks and watches are the time measuring devices that we now use most often. Most of the clocks make use of some periodic motion. An oscillating simple pendulum is an example of a periodic motion. The simple pendulum. A simple pendulum is made up of a metal ball which is known as bob attached to a taut light string or thread that is fixed rigidly at one end. The bob of the pendulum is free to oscillate. When the pendulum is at rest, it is in its mean position. When the bob of the pendulum is slightly displaced from its mean position, the bob undergoes a regular to and fro motion. One such complete to and fro motion is equivalent to one oscillation of the pendulum. One oscillation gets completed when the pendulum goes from one extreme position to its mean position and then to the other extreme position, again to its mean position, and then finally back to the initial position. The time taken for one complete oscillation by the pendulum is known as the time period of the pendulum. The discovery of the oscillatory motion of pendulum and its properties are generally attributed to Galileo. The story goes that one day during his visit to a church, he noticed that the gaseous lamps hanging from the ceiling were swinging due to the breeze. Galileo noticed that the swinging was periodic in nature. He measured their time period by counting off the beats on his wrist. He also observed that all lamps having the same length were swinging with the same time period. These observations helped him to understand or formulate the basic ideas about the simple pendulum. To measure the time period of a simple pendulum, we can do simple activity. We'll have to set up a simple pendulum as shown in the figure. We'll use a definite length of the thread that has a metal bob attached at its free end. Let the bob of the pendulum come to rest at its mean position O. We'll have to switch off nearby fans, if any, because it can affect the displacement of the pendulum. Displace the bob of the pendulum by about 5 cm to one side and release it gently. Let the pendulum oscillate for some time. Start a stopwatch when the bob is at one of its extreme positions. Let the bob complete, say, 10 oscillations. Stop the watch at this instant and record the time taken to complete these 10 oscillations. The time period is this time divided by 10. Repeat the above activity a few times and record the observation in a tabular form. Then, what we observe is the time period nearly same in each case. We will find that a slight change in initial displacement does not affect the time period of the pendulum. Second, a pendulum of given length takes a definite time to complete one oscillation. It follows then that if two pendulums of the same length are taken, they will take same time to complete one oscillation. This observation led to the design of the pendulum clocks. In pendulum clocks, time is measured in terms of the time taken by a standard pendulum to complete one oscillation. A clock or a wristwatch runs continuously and can be used to know time. However, they cannot be used to measure accurately short time intervals, such as time taken by an athlete to run 100 meters. For such measurements, we need a watch that can be started and stopped at precise moments. We use a stopwatch in such cases. Nowadays, we use digital and quartz crystal clocks having suitable circuits in them. These clocks are much more precise than the pendulum clocks. So, students, we have completed time period of a pendulum. So that's all for today. We will discuss some of the numericals depending upon the measurement of speed, time, distance, and then we will discuss the graph related to speed, time and distance in next class. Thank you. Have a nice day.